In order to install some aspects of our zero net energy design, we will be doing things that perhaps hadn't been done before anywhere in Australia. We got together with some really smart people and started looking at some of the unique attributes of this site and coming up with designs that had not been seen anywhere before.
This was really the first time that I'm aware of anywhere where you really have a hand-to-glove process from the training of apprentices and journeymen and ultimately masters to the engineering profession and how they feed into providing safe water and clean sanitation.
The union's totally committed to high productivity and high skills, and this centre here is a connection for the future jobs of our members. It's a cliche to say green jobs, but they're sustainability future jobs, and this is the connection between the industry, labour and capital, the manufacturing industry, so it's everything in one.
In order for us to meet our ambition to be the leading plumbing and fire protection trainer in the country, if not the world, it's vital that we have the equipment, the spaces, the expertise gathered in one spot to ensure that we can give the men and women working in our industry the training that they need.
As part of the Tetra Tech High Performance Buildings Group, NDY has engineered this groundbreaking new building to generate the equivalent amount of energy that it consumes.
When we put the design together to combine geothermal and solar, it was clearly that this was one of the first net zero energy buildings in Australia. It's certainly the first net zero energy training facility. So we went to ARENA, the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, and put on the table with them what the design was all about. And they were very, very keen to come on board and provide funding so that we were able to demonstrate to the wider community what the unique attributes of this project was all about.
We've worked really hard to integrate into the design exposure to the plumbing systems, the plumbing technologies, the plumbing facilities, so that just being here, you are surrounded by the latest in plumbing technology.
The client really wanted a building that not only was a facility to teach from, but also that the facility could teach as well. We've got services that are exposed, we've got classrooms that function as open learning areas. Students can look up in the ceiling and actually see real-life examples of what we're doing out in industry.
This particular facility is so unique because we brought some plumbing systems to the front of house. We've got a lot of innovation in this particular building. We have a vacuum system, a full reuse water reuse, rainwater harvesting reuse. We have net zero energy solar hot water plant up in the roof, which is fed by PV panels. We have siphonic systems. We have performance-based design donated by the AHSCA Research Development, which created 100 litres a second, which is the first building that's ever been done. We've had Caroma Smart Command, which this will be the first building that's been introduced into. Smart Command is an innovation from GWA, which basically controlled by an iPad or an iPhone outside this facility to control water flows and problem solving.
From a net zero point of view, we had to alter the way we dealt with the building fabric. So essentially on ground floor and generally we've got precast panels that are insulated, so that gives us quite a good thermal rating. We've got glazing that basically is high specification glazing, which limits sun control into the building. Also, as we move on to level 1, we've got a combination of building details which have high insulation values. Building sealing is an important factor to the building too, so controlling how your air leakages are. So that combined with thermal insulation is two main factors that we had to bring into a training facility that's generally more of a warehouse type setup.
As opposed to any other project where we try to hide services behind the wall, we've actually brought everything front of house. So even our toilets have got perspex in them, we've got AVAC flushing systems, all the pipework's exposed. So you can see from the cradle to the grave where the water comes and goes from, to and from.
We have ground source heat pumps. We also have unitary heat pumps that are around the building. The unitary heat pumps take the ground source water, take it straight from the geothermal loop and provide heating and cooling locally, whereas the reverse cycle heat pumps that are in the plant room, they are used purely to provide heating hot water, and that's circulated through to in-slab heating and also to fan core units, which are connected to indirect evaporative coolers. In the summer, those units provide cooling via an indirect evaporative source, air handling units, which blast air into the building, which are very efficient.
We've got approximately 550 screw piles on this project that provide the structural foundation, and about half of those screw piles have been utilised for the geothermal. So what we've done is we've got closed loop water lines that go down on the screw piles.
We were able to work with the piling contractor to design a screw pile where we could actually insert our geothermal bore piping into that screw pile, and then on 28 piles we went an additional 100 meters down, and we were able to have an open-ended pile with the helix on the outside. We're able to see that as an opportunity and leverage that screw pile and actually use it as a heat exchanger in the ground. It's not been done in Australia before.
The building itself is revolutionary. We've got hundreds of kilometres of pipes underground where we're using the energy from the ground to power the building.
We've had to adopt a lot of new technologies and we've had to integrate them. We've had close support from our engineers to work with contractors on site to enable a building that's going to be net zero energy.
NDY is responsible for the sophisticated energy modelling which predicts the supply and demand patterns of the building, and we're working with Deakin University and the Net Zero Energy Laboratory in New York to achieve accreditation for the project.
The manner in which this building is being constructed gives us flexibility in how to train the next generation of plumbers. And that modular approach, the flexibility in being able to incorporate new and innovative technologies is critically important to be able to demonstrate skills and to ensure that those skills are reproducible and done so in an efficient way.
NDY is all about energy efficient buildings. Our high performance building group is about providing buildings that perform way above the normal standard. This is an important example of what NDY engineering is all about, and combining with the other consultants we've been able to be successful in producing an extraordinary building which is way above the benchmark in terms of energy supply and energy demand.
Net zero is quite simply the new green.